This boxer was ridiculed and mocked for being so out of shape, but by today's standards, he might actually make Andy Ruiz and Tyson Fury look like the most physically fit fighters. With 91 fights under his belt, these are the incredible origins of how an overweight man defied the odds and became a master of the ring. Born on August 3, 1966 in Jasper, Alabama, Butterbean was not your average fighter. He was best at footwork, both traits expected of any heavyweight contender. However, he did possess an overwhelming knockout power. This, combined with his charismatic personality, made him a fan favorite. By the late 1990s, Butterbean had become a household name, stepping into the ring nearly 100 times and building a legacy that mixed entertainment and ferocity in equal measure, securing his place as one of boxing's most unforgettable fighters. Standing at 5 feet 11 inches and weighing around 300 pounds, Eric Esch didn't exactly look like your typical heavyweight prospect. Butterbean grew up facing his own challenges outside the ring. Like many from small communities, he took on demanding jobs to support his family. But just when he thought he would spend the rest of his life working in a mine, boxing came calling. His transition into the sport wasn't glamorous. His beginnings trace back to the Tough Man contest, making his debut in Texarkana, Arkansas in the early 90s. This competition had a weight limit of 400 pounds, forcing him to stick to a strict diet of fried chicken and, ironically, beans. Before long, his determination paid off as he dominated the tough man scene, amassing an impressive record of 56 wins, 36 of them by brutal knockout.
Been there, not necessarily win this thing. Easy to say for me, of course, against the big guy who gives up. Oh, Shamu got caught. The whale was out of position that time.
Pressure-filled situations.
He got a left, he knocked him down. Big left. Good right. Look out canvas. Another left and a right. Look out canvas.
Earning him the championship title 5 times. His fighting style was unorthodox and his physique unconventional, but his ability to take down opponents was undeniable. At the end of the day, fans didn't attend fights to see perfect technical execution. They came to see knockouts, and Butterbean made sure to deliver.
Now, that's a successful style against Butterbean until
He landed
you
the
get hit.
right. Where did that come from? He landed that right.
What do you do if you're Kennedy here? Everything you did in round 1 was perfect until the end. He's going back for
He's
more
down
in the
again.
second punch. Longevity in a tournament.
But
You've
no
gotta
one.
get-
Oh, he knocked him down again. We'll need something. Oh, big left. I was going to see side at this point.
He's saying, move the ice, I want to go there.
Knocked him down again. And that is
On October 15, 1994, Butterbean made his professional boxing debut in Birmingham, Alabama, securing a victory by judges' decision over Tim Daniels. From the start, it was clear that Butterbean was not the typical fighter. His unique appeal, combined with his knockout power, quickly gained a cult following. His fans nicknamed him the King of the Four Rounders, a title that perfectly captured the essence of his short, explosive, and highly entertaining fights.
The Bean opponents, he knows getting the crowd. Butterbean, though, I seldom add dance.
Here we go, right?
They are, because he's going after the
Once again, the Bean.
His professional career took off in a way that most aspiring fighters could only dream of. By his own estimates, Butterbean believed he had more televised fights than most world champions. For a while, Butterbean seemed unstoppable. He racked up victory after victory, most of them by knockout, but fate would catch up with him sooner rather than later. On December 15, 1995, in the legendary Madison Square Garden ring, the unthinkable happened. Butterbean, boasting an undefeated professional record of 15 wins, 12 of them by explosive knockouts, was stopped in the second round by Mitchell Rose, a last-minute replacement. This loss was not just a minor setback. For him, it was a reality check. Rose, a fighter with Golden Gloves credentials to back up his power, exposed the limitations of Butterbean's tough man fighting style. While Butterbean had been bulldozing through opponents with raw power, Rose gave him a lesson in what could be accomplished with solid boxing technique. His ability to control distance and land precise punches left Butterbean with no effective response. Butterbean's team likely thought Rose was an easy target based on his record, but he proved them completely wrong.
Butterbean's not getting off first. Big overhand by Mitch Rose. He's well schooled to get in there after the punch. It's just all power and clubbing punches.
If not, Butterbean's got trouble tonight.
But right now it seems like Butterbean, you caught him right there. This is all Rose is out. Big right hand.
Rose will catch him on top of the head, but eventually going to catch him on the chin.
He was staggering. Here comes Jones in for the kill. Nice hit with a left. Tyson stopped it.
Later on, Ruiz revealed that top-ranked boxing representatives had unofficially offered him a $5,000 bonus if he fought just one day before the match. Butterbean's first loss became a defining moment. It proved that even the biggest and most powerful fighters had vulnerabilities. However, Eric Esch did not let this stain on his record define the course of his future fights, proving that he was a fighter with as much resilience as he had an entertainer's spirit. Butterbean returned to the ring and regained his dominant aura. From that point forward, he built an impressive streak of 51 fights without a loss, either winning or, at worst, drawing. His efforts eventually led him to share the same dream as Peter McNeely, securing a fight against Mike Tyson. McNeely had already been dismantled by Tyson in less than 2 minutes back in 1995, so he longed for the chance to redeem himself. Meanwhile, Butterbean saw the possibility of a fight against the former heavyweight champion as the peak of his career. In retrospect, neither of these fighters was a realistic opponent for Tyson at that stage of his career. So, after months of negotiations, they decided to face each other instead. On June 26, 1999 in Las Vegas, Butterbean and Peter McNeely promised a spectacle that was impossible to ignore. Those who followed both fighters expected the fight to be brief. McNeely stepped into the ring battling more than just his opponent. After being knocked out earlier that year by Brian Nielsen in Denmark, his struggles with drug and alcohol addiction were exposed. By the time of the fight, he claimed to have been sober for 70 days. On the other side, Butterbean entered as the heavy favorite. The fight unfolded, and while the outcome wasn't surprising, it delivered exactly what the fans wanted: a chaotic slugfest. From the opening bell, McNeely attempted to keep his distance and box smartly, but it didn't take long before they engaged in brutal close-range exchanges. At just 1 minute and 20 seconds into the first round, Butterbean landed a vicious combination that hurt McNeely. In response, McNeely threw 2 powerful left hooks, punches strong enough to neutralize any conventional fighter, but Butterbean was anything but conventional. With less than a minute remaining in the round, Butterbean unleashed an infamous flurry of uppercuts, completely dismantling McNeely, who struggled just to keep his gloves up.
The drinks are a little too much, didn't die or train on his life, and can actually come in here and perform.
Next to the glove of McNeely. On top, like him. Oh, he missed with the right.
With only 1 second left on the clock, the referee decided McNeely had endured enough and mercifully stopped the fight.
A little bit of money went on McNeely.
Oh, right hand by the uppercut. It's all Butterbean. McNeely ready to go. And that's it. Jane 80 steps in and stops.
Vinny Vecchione, McNeely's manager, protested what he considered a premature stoppage by the referee, arguing that his fighter was still standing and defending himself against the attacks. However, the decision had already been made. This wouldn't be the only controversy surrounding the fight. Just 3 days earlier, during a press conference, McNeely had lost his composure. Unloading all the frustration he had been carrying since his life and professional career took a downward spiral after his infamous loss to Tyson. This made it clear that McNeely's mental state was far from stable enough to continue fighting in the ring. Did you know that Butterbean's fame was so great that they created a division just for him to call himself king? The IBA Super Heavyweight Championship was designed specifically for fighters whose physical profiles matched Butterbean's with the sport and its fans. Conclusion: this journey through the life and career of Butterbean is just the tip of an iceberg that extends outward in many directions. An unconventional fighter who capitalized on his strengths to overshadow his weaknesses and dominate in the ring against many opponents. If you've made it this far, thank you. Remember, the best way to support my content is by leaving a like on the video. Did you already know about Butterbean's origins? Do you have any of his fights among your favorites? Share them in the comments. I'll be reading them there. Until our next encounter.